Awesome. So,
So,
Gene,
so
if you don't mind, tell us where you started. Like, where did all this begin with Paddock Collection?
well, it all started with passion around a specific brand,
Hmm.
automotive brand, which is Ferrari. Uh, I purchased my first Ferrari in 2002. And from that point on, I belong uh, to multiple clubs, local and nationwide. And I noticed that a lot of people had issues locating authentic products.
Hmm.
So we reached out to multiple companies and eventually start bringing product from Europe. We try to do track events was the core business, not the website, but we did track events probably for, I have to say, starting from 2008 all the way until probably 2016, 17,
Oh,
you
wow.
know. So we had a full uh, crew that goes out and travels racetracks and set up you know pop-up stores with a lot of automotive apparel, from t-shirts to hats to model cars, anything and everything that we felt. So and that uh, grew up significantly until point that we basically sold the track event portion of our company, and we only do online retail.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I have to say 80% of our sales are through marketplaces, Amazon and Walmart and eBay's and we and a lot of people start requesting direct websites, and we built the website probably about 4 years ago.
Hmm.
It was learn on the fly. Uh, that's not my core business. Uh, I'm in finance for the last 35, 40 years. So I built accounting system around online business and Shopify and all this. And we created this little niche that uh, make us pretty good living. And we fairly have to say uh, important in the community. I have to say we are in a top tier of everyone who sells similar product in US, but we sell overseas as well. We try to be as much spread out through US, but we do sell overseas as well. Um, so the goal is to grow. We have a handful of people that works. Uh, my wife oversees the operations, and my younger son, uh, oversees the books, and he is accountant by trade, and so it's pretty successful. I have to say, it's a money maker for us, but you know, not too many headaches. The headaches is to get the product
Hmm.
and make sure that your inventory turns and you bring in new every year products as the racing companies produce products we bring in. There's major brands are fairly successful in branding their products. Ferrari, Lamborghini, BMWs, and all of the Formula One teams are producing product every year and pretty wide range products right now, and we try to bring just about everything. You know, we work with a lot of Italian companies and a lot of UK companies that major distributors throughout the world. We also work with US distributors as best they can, if they can keep the product on the shelves. You know, so you just it's not too difficult. It's just a lot of customer service. That's the key. You know, you got to personally answer every question, measurements on product and everything. We this is how we built this, is with successful customer relations. You know, a lot of repeat business, and you know, a lot of people becomes friends, and we discuss things outside of purchase, discuss Formula One results, you know, discuss Ferrari, Lamborghini. You know, there's a lot of, it's a great community. You know, it's not exactly bread and butter item that person needs. It's something that you put on your young kid with the hat and so on, or get a jacket to drive your car or something. But it's great. It makes everyone smile, makes everyone fairly connected, you know, because you have a lot of those people who buy clothes, branded clothes. They're just as passionate as we are. Yeah. So it's a simple small business with you know, with proper help from, you know, online ads and, you know, proper advertising. It grows, you know, and we grow every year. You know, it all depends how much time you want to spend and how much you want to grow, and you know, how many dollars you want to spend on ads, and, and it's all from there, you know.
That's so inspiring, Gene. I love that you built from the ground up, completely organically. I love that this isn't your core business either. I like that it's a side hustle, because a lot of people building stores are building them as a side hustle. So what would you say to the new person just starting out? They want to build their first store. What are the things that they need to know, the mistakes that you can help them avoid?
Okay, so accounting is the key. You really need to understand how much your inventory is. You need to control inventory. This is probably the top tier recommendation, is you gotta control your inventory. Inventory makes your world go around. You know, if you don't turn your inventory X amount of times a year, you know, you're not really using your dollars correctly. You know, so you gotta make sure you understand the turns. You gotta make sure you understand the cost to do the business. You gotta make sure you understand impact of timely orders. You need to also understand uh, ability to have fresh new designs, that your website or your marketplace is not stale. You know, all of those things are very, very important in this industry, at least. You know, in some other industries could be something different, but the key is the inventory turns. Margins are important. Volume is always important, but you can't build volume without successful historic trend. You need to understand what sells at what time, you know, different categories. You gotta track, it's good to play around with Excel and some other tools. You know, you gotta make sure you can, I hope, to run some pivot tables and understand what delivers you the best results in order to deploy your funds correctly. You know, you can't buy a hat that you're not selling and restocking all the time. Otherwise, you get stale inventory. It's just those simple things. You gotta, when you're starting, you have to spend a lot of time. You have to. You will not. You will not be successful unless you do something wrong, because you gotta learn on some of those mistakes. You got to
Mm.
make sure that all of the mistakes is less costly as possible. You got to make sure that if you try something, you got to start on a slower pace. You know, if you want to bring in and start with specific brand, don't bring in $50,000 in inventory until you can get track and see how the market absorbs this product, you know, because you have competition, and what competition does, and it brings out the best out of you. You know, it makes you uh, it makes you create steps that you should be ahead of your competition. You know, you bring the product quicker, you price it well, you know, you bring your algorithms up because you're pricing well. All of those things is important, especially when you have someone like your company that basically give us analytics, and we can, you know, we can make decisions based on the analytics, and that's also important. You know, you can't make decisions on a piece of paper. You know, you got to have some tools, you got to have some understanding of finance, you got to have a little bit of money behind you. You know, the smaller you start, the smaller number of dollars you need, but you need to you need to have a love to do this. You know, you can't just do this because you want to earn $20. You gotta have some, you gotta have heart into it. You know,
Mm.
and it's important that you have good people around you, you know, honest, and make sure that you can get relationship with suppliers, and do whatever you can to build customer base. Yeah, it's just the simple things, but a lot of customer service, especially in the beginning. You know, uh, voluntary emails to customer upon receipt of their product. How did you like the products? You know, all of those things are important. You know, and you know, you put some tools together on the website and it works. You know, make sure that you have good system for returns and refunds and all that stuff, because you don't want to make people uncomfortable and angry, you know. So that's the key. That's the basic key. But the volume will grow. You know, the more time you spend, the more you will generate in sales, the more you will make. Hopefully, you buy the product right, you know, and then you just follow your industry. You know, the industry that I'm in is growing. You know, there's a lot more passion around Formula One. You know, they bringing a second race into United States, so you're gonna have more people. You know, the more people see those fancy race cars, the more people buy T-shirts and hats, and more people go to the races, the more people will remember to watch race from Italy every Sunday or something, or from UK, or from France, or from Monaco. You know, it's becoming to be a cult. You know,
Mm.
if let's say you take uh, Ferrari dealership that sells cars, they do half a dozen times events around racetracks, you know, so you can get your customers in the same passion around race. Everybody geared up in Ferrari red or Lamborghini black or whatever it is, and you see the people are just enjoying themselves, you know, and that what makes this. It makes this. It's really you smile, you know.
Gene, there's so many gold nuggets in what you just said. That was a masterclass in e-commerce building. One thing you said that I love was the competition makes you better.
Absolutely.
What an amazing thing! What an amazing paradigm! Because most people really hate their competition, but you
Well,
leaned
you
into
can't
it.
succeed without a competition, because you need to understand what you're doing wrong. If the
Mm.
competition selling 5 hats and you selling 1 hat, you got to figure out what they do better. Okay. Either they advertising more, you got to invest more money. Do they buy product well, price it better than you? You need to always analyze your competition. If it's a small industry, it's very easy to do. You will see who is in the Google ahead of you, you know, who is who is advertising on Amazon, you know, who is advertising on Walmart or eBay, you know, all of those things are there for you to get your eyes around.
Mm.
You can see you're not the only one that sells the product. If someone else sells the product, you got to have a strategy to attack and hopefully win that additional customer. And that's what drives you, and that's what you see. You take a specific SKU and you track it. 1 month you were selling 40 hats, next month 47 hats, next month 52 hats. That means you're taking someone's business
Mm.
or you're advertising dollars reaching out more people. And that's important. You have to run the numbers. You have to see how much inventory is around, because all those platforms usually tell you what inventory is around for your competition. You go to eBay, you see how many units sold, and it's all there. It's all there. You just have to build a spreadsheet and just carry it. You control your inventory, you control your revenues, and you see how you compare to a previous quarter, month, or year, and you make the decisions. You know that when the season starts, people buy hats. That's probably the least expensive item, and you you read and you see who is going to be at the top of the echelon. And if this company is moving up, you make a bet and you bring a little bit more hats to start, and that's how you do it. One driver is better than the other. One driver's hats and t-shirts and jacket sells better than the other, and you have to just follow this, and that's what makes you better. You gotta be, if you spend 3 hours a day on analytics, it will benefit. Eventually you will see what that gives you in results. And that's how other businesses works as well. I'm here in a different industry altogether that I've been doing this for 40 years, and we use the same principle: customer service, and got to make sure we understand where the market is, how to position yourself, and try not to make costly mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. The principles of business kind of stay. They.
Right. There's a lot more tools right now that help small businesses, startups. Shopify is a great platform. They taking control. The tools are there, apps are there. You just have to spend time, build great store, get some help designing, coding, pictures, and all this stuff. And it should be successful. There's a lot of people that can do this from their own home and subsidize their core businesses. And that's how this is. My wife enjoying this, and I joined this because I can see, first of all, she spends time with people, everybody's happy, dollars are trickling in. You're not killing your retirement by investing in $200,000 or $300,000 in inventory of hats or t-shirts, because you see they're moving, and that's important. You got to figure out how to be in a proper industry that you can able to understand and try to learn as much as you can, and just continue to grow sales. Success doesn't happen from Friday to Saturday. You got to spend some hours, and you got to find correct product. You got to find correct people to sell it to. You got to find support staff that do ads for you to make sure that you have a good plan how to advertise, to make sure that you can able to afford this. And this is where America is great. It opens a lot of doors. If you want to work hard, it gives you opportunity. There's no question about it.
No
There's
question.
no question about it.
Will you tell me a little bit about your advertising, Gene? What do you do to advertise? What are your most successful channels?
I basically honestly, before you guys, I had a freelancer sold his services to us. Just like I trust Regina and her team to build campaigns around how she understands our business and our website. Previously, the guy it didn't pay out. I couldn't see growth through website sales. The last year, I clearly seen steps in the right directions, not in the first few months when algorithm starts working and all that, but in the last 6 months, I honestly see that doesn't matter how much dollars we spend a month, it makes successful portion of the business, because I can track just from the website sales and see how this should run, so there's no issue with spending on clicks, there's no issue there. I just want to make sure that Regina and her team analyze just like she analyzed. She needs more dollars, we approve more dollars, and because she creates report, I see report, spend 20 minutes on it, that's good to go. I run P&Ls for the business, let's say every 2 weeks. You see where we are, how we spend on the Google and the rest of the platforms, and it's positive, so we go.
Yes.
Hopefully she can spend 10,000-15,000 a month by the end of the year. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Just make sure she just continue to do what she does. I see no issues there.
That's awesome. Well, we're grateful to have you as a client. I have your report pulled up in front of me, and you've got a 500% return on ad spend this month, which is pretty healthy.
It is. It is. It is. This month is we brought in. There's a new team. If you're familiar with car world, Aston Martin have a Formula One team this year. So we brought in this line from UK, and it's been successful. Okay, so also, Red Bull team versus Mercedes is a lot more closer than the years before. So you got a lot of Red Bull hats being sold because there's a lot more competition. The more competition, more people watching, more people searching, more people buy. It's simple. It's
circle
simple.
of life.
That's it. You just need you gotta pick an industry that you think you can fit in and make a little bit of difference, and the difference is you create, let's say, better website, or you create a better product mix, whatever it is, you gotta try and then improve. That's the key. You gotta always improve. I'm beginning to bring in another category, and when we put up all of the products online, I will reach out and we'll create new campaigns around. It's the collector's model category. It's a 143rd hand-built models from around the world. Very detailed. 300 to 500 parts. It's a different category, but it's within the same industry. It's the passion around cars. If you follow racing, Formula One was I don't know, 60 years, 70 years. So all those race cars have been duplicated and created as models from long time ago, and we created a relationship with manufacturer, and I think we're gonna bring in some of their inventory. That's it's a little bit more costly than hats, but we're gonna try to be as competitive as possible, just to bring in and piggyback back on our existing product lineup, and I think it'll be successful, but it's down the road. Hats and T-shirts and jackets is the best thing. Cups and tumblers and whatever else, umbrellas. That's the key. Just stuff that people can use, put in their car. You buy BMW and you want a BMW hat to drive on Saturday. This is where we come in. You want a nice jacket with M power on it, and we got it. Someone bought a Lamborghini and want a hat. We have I don't know 70 different Lamborghini hats. So it's just it's there. And it's just we're trying to bring in everything and anything that makes sense. Someone want a gift Lamborghini belt. We have a Italian-made belts. Anything. We don't sell it in thousands, but if someone wants the Christmas present and they want to give somebody $200 leather Italian design belt, we have it. So it's those things that not a lot of people will go to the dealer. We have much larger inventory than local dealer, and we have much better pricing, much easier for people to buy through marketplace or websites and all that. So that's how we build. We sell even wholesale products to dealers as well. So there's plenty for us to grow. We just need to figure out what's the best place. I think from a cost perspective, I think website is probably most attractive to me to grow. There's limitations with Walmarts and Amazons and how they do business. You're probably aware of Amazon. If stuff sells well, they buy themselves and compete. So you got to have alternatives. They're still strong. We're a very solid customer of Amazon. We don't do FBA, but we sell significant amount. We sell. I think this month we'll probably do 125,000 in Amazon sales. So it's significant. So it's a good relationship. Still works. They're not trying to bring in stuff that we're selling. But you never know. You always have to look around and keep your ears and eyes open.
Yeah, keep.
But the website is the key. I'm sure eventually Regina and her team may want to change a few things. Pictures and all that. That's where teamwork comes in. I need someone with professional eye tell me how can we improve. And the numbers will tell us. 1 month 10,000 in sales, 1 month 15, another month 30,000, and that's what we're gonna do. She's gonna tell me, Gene, we need to, just like I guess it was yesterday or the day before, we need to bump up our ad dollars to $4,000. Okay, go ahead. Not a problem. Not a problem. Here's the return. Go ahead. Not a problem. So I trust a lot of people who do good work. I have a great team here under me in a different industry, and we trust our legal team, and we trust our vendors, and we trust our tax advisors, and we trust everyone that produces service, our IT team, everyone that recommends, we discuss and we follow, and that's how we build this business that I'm in, and is we trade protein commodities around the world. Chicken goes to Mozambique or Congo, or or vessel to Cuba. All of those things. That's what we do. We sell frozen poultry, and we we do millions and millions of dollars, you know, and this is how we built, and this is how I taught my wife, and this is she took over and run. That's it.
That's
Pretty
all.
simple.
Gene, this has been an absolute wealth of value. Thank you. If you were to say anything in closing to, the new e-commerce store openers, or any last words?
The best recommendation is you got to make sure you believe, you know, because if you start hurting yourself that, you know, if you're not making money 3 months down the road, it's not the way the world works. You gotta believe, you gotta spend time, educate yourself, and try. You gotta always try. That's the key. Don't be afraid of something that you never did before, because that's, you're never gonna know if you are good at it or not, you know. So it's a great, e-commerce is a great platform, especially now. You have so many tools around you to do this well. You know, you just have to spend time. That's all.
That's a great note. Gene, thank you so much for donating your
Thank
time.
you very much. Thank you for your great help, and wish all the best to you and Regina.
Yes, sir. Grateful to you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your night. Thank you.
Take care, Gene.
Bye-bye.